I had to sit you down and talk about it. It shows me a lot from your silence. You told all your friends that I'm violent, but you can quit the cap, no you lie.
To do an episode before, but I'm definitely a little bit nervous for today's episode. Just because it's been a while since I've seen you guys, and a lot has happened since I've seen you guys. Happy birthday to me. I'm turning 27, and I cannot believe that it's finally come. It's been a year since my birthday, obviously, and like I felt like it was old when it was 26 and now it's 27, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh." And look what I just found in my phone case from PF Chang's. It's a fortune, and it says great success is just around the corner. And if I didn't welcome you guys back, welcome back to another episode of Open View. I am your host, Deja View, and today we're going to get into it because it is my birthday, 9/27, and this is episode 9, and we are going to be going over 27 things that I have learned in 27 things being on this earth. And yes, I am stealing this idea from Tana Majo. I think it was just a great idea. And I just want to share what I have learned in the years that I have been on this earth. Um, as you guys know, it's been a little bit since my last episode. I was actually detained. And if most of you don't know what that means, I was put in handcuffs and taken to jail last week. I don't know how much I'm allowed to talk about this. Hopefully my case is going to get dismissed. But my family is really dealing with a lot right now. So if you guys could just send some prayers to my family and to my brother and to my mom and to my dad, it would be very greatly appreciated. And I just want to like give a shout out to anyone who's dealing with mental illness or anything like that, that I am definitely an advocate for you and I am always here for you. And if anyone needs anyone to talk to, please comment down below. And if you need someone to talk to, please let me know and DM me and I will talk to you as much as you need, because mental illness is a real thing and it's attacking our society. Anyways, I don't want this to be a sad episode because it is my birthday, so we're going to get right into it. And just so you know, this is a PG-13 podcast now because my biggest fan, Grandpa Joe Rebeck, doesn't approve of the F word or me swearing, so no longer is happening. And if I say it, you guys, you have to hold me accountable. Okay, shall we just get started? Should we just get started? Okay, 27 years, you guys. This is like crazy that I'm even like saying that out loud. So, anyways, number 1 on my list that I've realized over the years, and it's like been the number 1 for me, is your life is your responsibility. Nobody's gonna come save you, sweetheart. But you know what? Your education is not gonna wake up one day and decide to leave you. So that's why I went to school. That's why I got my master's degree, because I wanted to be in control of my life. I saw my mom get 2 divorces in her lifetime, and granted, she does have a career, but she had like no real education. And I'm glad that she worked while she was married to both of them, because I don't know where she would be if she didn't. So, shout out to you, mom, for being a single mom and slaying. Number 2, the way someone treats you is a reflection of how they feel about themselves. I have really been going through a hard time with the way that people have been treating me lately in my life, especially those closest to me. And I've been constantly just having to remind myself that it's not about me. It's not about their hatred towards me. It's about their hatred towards themselves and their own life and how they feel about themselves. And I don't know what's more sad, you know? So I don't want to like feel like I have to stoop to their level or sink down just to, you know, just like make them happy, you know? So, and that's where the let them theory really has come into play for me. If you guys have not read that book by Mel Robbins, I highly suggest it. Um, and it's just basically like letting people do what they want, like what they I mean, let them be crazy. Let them, treat you shitty. Let them do that. But that's not what you're going to keep tolerating. So you're just going to move along and find something better. The next one is life is all about managing expectations and most of it your own. So a lot of the times, especially like with my mom lately, I've been trying to tell her like try not to have so many expectations. Like she just assumes that like I don't know, everything is going to be perfect and everything's going to work out the exact way that she visioned it. And then when it doesn't, she gets like really upset and really, disappointed. And it's like, Mom, if you didn't like, I mean, you should have communicated that if that's what you wanted, but you didn't, and it didn't happen the way that you wanted. So next time, be more vocal about it, and maybe it'll happen the way that you want it. So I don't know, just trying not to have like the biggest expectations, especially from other people, because you can't control them, and not letting it get to you. So, number four, when you know better, do better. So, I've really been trying to be a better person all around and like not be, I mean, the person that I've been maybe over the past few years, but I've really been trying not to do anything bad that would harm other people or harm myself. So, I've really been trying to be better because I know that that's better for society, better for myself, and I know that that's where God wants me. Your word is your bond, so stay true to it. My uncle is very good about this. Like when he says he's going to do something, he absolutely does it and he follows through with it. So I think that that's really important to just be like, okay, so I'm going to say I'm going to do this and then I'm actually going to do it. And I think that that's really important in life anytime, whether in business or in personal life. If you say you're going to do something, always follow through with it. So another one is just keep going no matter what. So we're all going to have hard days and we're all going to have our highs and our lows. And so it's kind of important to like sulk in those like low days and like and know that they are a low day and understand that. But you got to keep moving, you got to keep going because a body emotion stays in motion, and that's how you're going to get over it. And that's how it's going to get better is if you just keep going and keep pushing yourself and keep trying, because those people that stay in bed all day and lay in bed all day and don't get out of bed all day are the ones that are dwelling in it the most and that are sulking in it. So I highly suggest exercise. I like to walk in the evenings and it helps to not only clear my mind but, give me a little bit of a endorphin boost. And like I'm saying, don't dwell on the idea that things could have been any other way. So there's been like a lot of heartbreak and a lot of hurt in my life, and especially in the past few years of my life. But I don't look back on it and be like, oh my gosh, I wish I would have not have dated that person, or I wish I would have not have, blah blah blah. It's more about like what can I learn from this and how can this teach me something and how can I not do this next time. And life is all about learning, and we live and we learn. And I always tell that to people, like especially when things are hard in my life, I'm like, well, I live and I learn. I lived and I learned, because that's really all that we can do is live and learn. I think that that's just really important because not everybody is perfect. This life isn't perfect. Okay, so don't dwell on the idea. And another one is do what you're afraid to do. So I am really afraid of heights, and I always say, oh no, I'm not afraid of heights. And then I get somewhere really tall, and I'm like, holy crap, like that's really scary. So this weekend for my birthday, for my 27th birthday, I am going to try and step out of my comfort zone and try to face my fears, and that is facing heights. And so that means I'm going to be trying to do Angel's Landing this weekend at Zion National Park. And I am trying not to like post this around this time because I don't want people to like try to go there a lot, because I want to go, because you have to like get a special permit and it's like really hard and stuff. But like my aunt is like a really good mountaineer, and like if I was to go with anybody it would be with her, and I feel really safe with her. So we're going to try to make this work, and I'm going to let you guys know if I face my fears. But I feel like facing your fears, and especially like trying something new every day. I've been trying to try something new every day. Trying to try something new every day. Tongue twister. But it really does get you out of your comfort zone and make you be like, oh, like this is a little bit scary. Like, what did I do the other day that was so out of my comfort zone? I don't know, just like random things, like going on a different trail with Stella, like that's getting out of my comfort zone. That's like trying something new. The other night I took my mountain bike out for the first time this season in September. Anyways, I did that the other night. That was like something new. But, like, you know what I mean? Like trying a new hobby, like rock climbing or whatever it might be, and like trying to stick to trying something new every day. And I don't even think if I tried something new today. So I got to be better about that. Listen more than you speak. And this is really crazy that I wrote this down because today I was asking a few of my like patients at work, like especially the older patients. I was like, what is one thing in life that you've learned over your lifetime, over your entire life that you would say has like been the most beneficial to you or like has been the most like aha moment? And he was like, patience. And I was like, oh my gosh, like that makes so much sense because with patience, you sit there and listen and you're not the first to speak. You're not quick to interrupt them. You sit there and you're patient and you wait until they're done talking and then you say your response or whatever you're thinking. So I think in this next years in my life and like I feel like I've been trying to even practice that a lot this year, but like moving forward, especially, I'm just going to have a lot more patience and a lot more calmness before I react because I've gotten myself in a lot of trouble, especially recently, for reacting, especially on emotion. Um, and so I'm just going to try to like, my aunt says, take a deep breath for 3 seconds. Even if someone's yelling at you, it will relax you. Number 10, always be kind. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is so big. Always be kind. Always be kind to everybody, even if they are the waiter or the dishwasher, you know? Like they always say, be kind to everyone. I'm so big about that. Like, I'm nice to everybody. I wouldn't really hurt anybody. And so, going with that, the world, the next one that I've learned is number 11. The world can be cruel. And as you guys know, I live in Utah. And this whole Kirk thing is going on right now, which by the way, I just watched the memorial about that and that was kind of really amazing. And I think the speeches were really great and I think that Erica had a really great message. I don't know how I feel about the whole thing. I think it's a little bit skeptical and it's a little bit like what the is going on in the world right now. I told my grandpa I wasn't going to swear, so that's why I didn't say it. See, I'm being demure. I'm being mature. I'm trying to be a lady. This is very becoming of a young lady. But anyways, Erica had a great speech and I think she had a great message. But you know what they're saying about her and Trump online? I'm not even gonna like get into that, but this is not a political podcast. But I don't know, it's just like a little bit shady. So I don't want to say anything about it yet. But what's crazy about it though is the guy that Kirk used to live right by my mom. My mom used to live in those apartments where he lived. So like if you saw on the news where they showed that dumpster, right across the street from that dumpster was my mom's condo. And she lived there a year ago. And I'm like, oh my God, like what a small, small, small world. And like, I don't know how much like of this is just him, or I'm sure there are other people in play. And I know that we're going to find out more. But like, what a crazy world we're living in, how small of a town this is. And I just like am so blown away about all of the things that are going on in Utah right now, especially with the girls that are being trafficked. Oh, but I'm getting off on like a whole different tangent right now. And this is like a whole nother podcast for a whole nother day. But like the whole point of this is like the world can be cruel. And so you got to put your big girl pants on. And like I really had to learn that. And like one time, you guys, I need to slow down. No, but I feel like I just had a Mountain Dew Baja Blast. And those are my kryptonite. And those give me energy. And that's why I'm like, anyways. So the world can be cruel. And all I'm saying is, one time I had this coworker. I was probably like, oh, I was so young. I was probably like 19 or 20 at this time. And I was so like naive. And I remember his grandma had passed away. And I was like, oh my God, She's like, I'm so sorry. Like, your grandma passed away. Like, that's so sad. And he looked at me and he's like, what, Deja? Like, that's life. And I was like, wow, that's so, like, cruel of you. And he's like, well, that's just how life is. And, like, by the time you're my age, which was 29 at the time, so, like, we were, like, almost 10 years apart. He's like, by the time you're 29, you're going to be so, like, cold-hearted, and you're not going to, like, have this, like, vulnerable, naive side to you anymore. And, I mean, he's not, like, entirely wrong, because I feel like the more I see in life and the more I experience, it is a little bit disheartening, and it's a little bit, like, making my soul a little bit cold, but I'm still trying to be a lover girl, you know? I'm still trying to find a husband one day. Okay, next one is healing isn't linear. And I've seen this a lot with myself, with addiction and heartbreak. And I mean, I've had a really hard time with alcohol in the past. And I don't know if you guys have known this, but I have been doing so much better lately. I really have not been drinking like that much. I haven't said completely hard no. I haven't like gone fully sober from alcohol, but I don't drink it every day anymore, and I don't drink it on the weekends as much. Like, I'm really hardly ever drinking. Like, today I had like maybe 2 drinks, and I don't think I'm going to have any for the rest of the weekend. I don't even think I'm going to be drinking on my birthday, which is really good. But there have been times where I've been like really heavy in the drinking, and I've just like thought to myself, like, I need to take a break. So then I'll take a break and I'll be like, okay, like I'm going sober, like I'm not drinking. And then I'll circle back and have a drink. And then I'll feel so bad for like having another drink. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is how addicts feel. This is how alcoholics feel from like relapsing or whatever. But I've done really good about healing and like making sure that like I know that that's not the answer, and like I've really been craving it so much less like than I used to, where like before it would be like 4 o'clock 5 o'clock and I'd be like, okay, I'm ready for an Arnold Palmer. It would be like Friday evening and it's like, okay, I'm ready to drink. And then now I don't really like feel that way anymore. Which is really empowering because it's like, okay, I don't have to rely on this anymore for like satisfaction, or like something I've really been working on is like self-love. That's really something that keeps popping up for me with my therapist, is my validation and self-love. So I've really been working on that, and a lot of like those issues, excuse me, have to do with addiction, like with the self-love and stuff. So like if you don't love yourself, you're going to self-medicate and you're going to like find something to like give you that self-love, I guess. So it's not linear, and especially with heartbreak, it's really hard to like cut someone off, especially someone that you know so well. That's really been hard for me lately, and setting boundaries with people and just all of the things that come with that. So, number 13. 13 reasons why. No, I'm just kidding. I'll tell you my 13th reason why. His name is. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I should probably cut that out. Now that I'm thinking about that, that was stupid. Okay, number 13. Saying no is a form of self care, not selfishness. You heard that? Saying no is a form of self care. So we're going to practice that. We're going to do that. And we're going to say no. And I've really been good about that lately. And I feel like I really have set boundaries with the people in my life, especially closest to me, especially my parents, especially my, like, my family. So my friends, and just making sure that my boundaries are clear and like don't F with me. So, you know, and saying no to people, especially like my manager, if she wants me to pick up extra shifts, it's like, no, I'm not staying late. No, I'm not doing this. No, thank you. Nope, thank you. Because, like, at the end of the day, you need to take charge of yourself and you need to take charge of your own life. And if you don't want to do something, don't do it. Number 14, gratitude shifts everything. So, being being grateful is like being grateful for Stella. No, that's like literally what I say every morning. I'm like, I'm so grateful for you. I'm so grateful for you. Like, how did I even get that cute face to wake up to every morning? But it really does shift everything. And I think it really brings more like peace and gratefulness into your life, and like better things will come if you have gratitude. And this has been something that I've been practicing for years, and I feel like it's finally coming to fruition. And a lot of the things that I've been wanting to manifest over my life are finally coming true. And I think it's because I do have that gratitude, and I do have that peace, and I do have the Lord in my life. And there are so many things that are going well for me right now, even though there are so many things that are probably not going well for me right now. You know what I mean? But they like balance each other out. And that's why we need God, because no matter what we're going through, no matter how perfect life is, like there's always going to be a rainy day, you know? Or there's always going to be a rainy season. Not always, but like, you know what I mean? It's life. And the next one is friendships evolve, and that's okay. Round of applause for that one. I can tell you, like, my friendships have evolved in so many different ways. I've had friends that have moved across the state. I've had multiple friends move across the state, actually. I've moved away. I've had friends that, I mean, I've been friends with since middle school. I mean, we're kind of still in touch, like through social media and stuff, and like we'll text here and there, but there are just like so many transitions, I feel like, in people's lives. And then like some of my friends get married, some of my friends have kids, and then it's like, and then there's some behavior that I just don't handle in friends. So then I just, don't want to be friends with them anymore. So there are just so many things that can happen in life, and that's okay. Like if you don't have the same values as somebody else anymore, you can step away from that, and that's okay, because you're respecting yourself and you're doing what's best for you. So the next one is faith grows strongest in your weakest moments. And like I said earlier, we wouldn't need God if life was all butterflies and rainbows. So the times that I have come closest to God, especially recently in the past few years of my life, have been obviously my lowest points, which is not always the best time to reach out to God, but it's sometimes when we as like normal people find God, because that's when we're at our like darkest times and we're like we have literally nothing else to do but pray to God. And I can tell you that it's really benefited my life, and it's really filled my cup and made me feel at peace, especially with a lot of things that I don't think I would have healed if I didn't have the Lord in my life. The next one is really important for me, and I hope that it's important for you guys too, is rest is productive. I cannot tell you guys, I will run in myself into the ground until I am sick, until I have a migraine, until I'm like bedridden, until I cannot move. And this is, I don't think, a healthy way to live life. So I really have been trying to balance, like, you know, disconnecting and like really connecting with like nature and like the people around me, and not being so like go, 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 go and work, 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 work all the time, because I can be really hard on myself and really feel like I'm behind if I'm not doing that. The next one is travel expands your perspective more than any classroom can. The past few years, especially, I've been traveling so much. I went on a study abroad trip for my school last year in like the springtime, and that was like the most transformational trip of my whole entire life. We went to Switzerland, and we definitely like studied their healthcare system, studied their like global system and their currency and all of that, and how that functions and how they're able to like give free healthcare. And so I was just able to see like a whole different world, and it was really awesome to just like indulge in that and like really experience their culture and just understand from like the way they understood things was just like the way they just explained things was like, wow, like that actually makes sense. Like, why can't we do that in the US? But I mean, there's so many parties in play, especially in the US with insurance and everything. And like, I want this to be a podcast for another day also about like being a leader in healthcare, and I'm supposed to fix this. And like, I don't know how it's going to get better from here with insurance companies. And I feel like it's all a scam, but I'm not going to take the burden of the world on my shoulders right now. I'm only 27. But I feel like travel is really important. So we went to Switzerland, and then I went to Paris after by myself for like a week and a half, 2 weeks, and just really took in the art and the architecture and like rode the bike around the city and just really took it in. And it was just the most beautiful time of my whole life, because Paris was on my bucket list forever. And I feel like I'm really going to try to prioritize like traveling in the next few years, especially because I'm not tied down by a family or a man. And I can do what I want. So I'm going to travel and I want to experience more things and I want to experience more cultures, because if you think life is fair, you have not experienced the world and you have not experienced other cultures. Number 19. Manifestation works when paired with aligned beliefs. So my chiropractor has been basically, well, okay, how am I going to say this? My therapist has said, like, if your mind and body are not aligned, then you're not going to be like getting what you want. You know what I mean? So, for example, not to name names, I don't even know this person, but I heard through a grapevine that this person, was thinking that her husband was cheating on her. And oh my gosh, is he cheating on me? Blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, she is out sleeping with married men. And it's like, how does that work? So, how do you want your husband not to cheat on you and to be loyal to you if you're out doing other things and putting out in the universe? And so he kind of sat there with me and said, is this how you want to be putting yourself out there, Deja? Like, why are you attracting these men in your life? And so I think that it's really important for like your manifestations to come through true when you're actually practicing those things that you want to manifest. So, like for instance, if you want to be successful but you're sleeping in until noon, how is that like contributing success? How are you getting anything from that sleeping until noon? You know what I mean? So like the most successful people wake up at 5 a.m. So if I knew that the most successful person was waking up at 5 a.m., maybe I would want to start doing that. I'm pretty damn near close. I'm like at 7 a.m., but we'll get there. 20. Your intuition is usually right. Listen to it, especially us ladies. Ladies, your intuition is right. Always listen to it. This little gut down here is right. If it's tingling and if it's telling you something and if it's sinking and if it's making you sick and you're like, oh my God, I need to leave, leave. That's all I'm going to say. That has saved me in life more times than I can count, and it will continue to save me in life more times than I can count. Thank God for that. Not everyone deserves access to you. Cutting off old people in your life is hard, but it's necessary and it's part of the growing process. And I have such a forgiving and big heart that it's really hard for me to do that. But really, not everyone deserves access to you. And that is something that I've had to learn, especially when it comes to men and the ones that don't treat me right and the ones that don't want to take me on a date and the ones that don't like want to text me back are probably the ones that I shouldn't be giving access to me, at other times. So not everyone deserves access to me, and I am high luxury, so unless you can provide for this and give to this, then you're not having access to it. Sorry. But you can email me below. I'll send my link. Okay. Investing in yourself always pays off. Every time that I've invested in myself, whether it's been my hair extensions, whether it's been getting my nails done, whether it's been buying a nice watch, investing in yourself always pays off because I am presenting myself, I'm presenting my business, I'm presenting my podcast. I have a career, like I am not here to play games and I'm not here to look like trash at the same time. So pick one, but I want them all, so I'm going to show up nice. And I would like to rather invest in myself than somebody else or somebody I don't know, or a man for that matter. So pick yourself, choose yourself, love yourself. There you go. Okay. Oh, wow, look at this. Love yourself first, and the rest follows. Like I said, I've really been working on my self love. I think it's been on here 3 times already in different ways. No, but seriously, it's been something that I will continue to work on for the rest of my life. I know that I come off like, oh my gosh, like I'm so confident, like nothing bothers me, like whatever. But like deep down, I am like a soft girly and I am a lover girly at heart. So I just gotta like learn to protect my heart, but also learn to love myself at the same time. And that's like being respectful to myself. And I think I want to look in the mirror and have nothing but respect for that person I'm looking at. Okay, the next one is change is scary, but staying stuck is scarier. And the thing that I want to say to this is my move to where I live now has been the best decision I've ever made in my whole entire life. And it's really changed my perspective on life. And I think if I would have stayed where I was at, I would have stayed stuck in that mentality. And I don't think I would have grown as much as I have in the past year if I stayed where I was. So sometimes when you're thinking about making a change, or sometimes when you're thinking about making a move and you're questioning, like, is this going to be good for me? Think about what it'll do for you in the next 6 months. Be like, will this change me for the better, or will it change me for the worst? And what I've been trying to do a lot lately is try to look at things with less emotion and more, I want to say intelligence, but logic, more logic. So what I've been writing is like pros and cons list. So what is the pro of this? What is the con of this? And how is this going to benefit me in the long term? And if you can answer all of those, you'll be fine. So the next one is really important, and it's God's timing is more important than your own. I love you, God, and always trust his timing and you will be okay. 444 forever. The next one is everything happens for a reason. Every season, good or bad, teaches you something you'll need later. And I've looked at this multiple ways. So, for example, like my narcissist ex stepdad, for that situation, I've learned that even though it was a crappy situation, I learned that that's not the type of husband I want. That's not somebody I want to marry. That's not someone I want to have in my life and raise my kids. So we can always put a positive spin on something. I know that like we've all been through trauma. We've all had trauma. Like all I hear now these days is trauma, 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 trauma. If I hear trauma one more time, but it's how you handle it, and it's how you move forward with it, and it's how you look at it, and it's how your mindset, it's like the mindset you have towards it. You know what I'm saying? Like if you have a positive mindset and a positive outlook on life, don't you think it's going to be fulfilling? So everything good or bad, everything happens for a reason, and you just got to stay true to that. And finally, for 27, I felt like I needed to put something that was like powerful. So this is it. Comparison is the thief of joy. Your path is uniquely yours, so stay true to it. And I think that that is so true, and that is something that I have such a hard time with, especially with social media, especially with all of us being on social media. I mean, I know we all do. We all scroll and we all look at that person. We're like, oh my gosh, like, how do they have that? How are they so successful? How do they have this money? Blah, blah, blah. Because it's all the highlight reel on social media. And I know that we're all beating ourselves up inside a little bit, and we're all comparing ourselves to that person, or your role model, or whoever it is. And we need to stop doing that, you guys. We need to really stop doing that. We need to look at ourselves and we need to be like, look, I am worthy. I can do this. And it doesn't matter what they have, because you're on competition with yourself and only yourself. And we're not keeping up with the Joneses next door. So I love you, Viau Crew. And 27 years has taught me that life isn't about having it all figured out. It's about showing up, learning, failing, getting back up, and continuing to grow. Every single season, whether it broke me, stretched me, or blessed me, it shaped me to who I am today. And for that, I am grateful. If you're listening right now, I want you to know that you don't have to wait for the perfect moment to change your life, to chase the dream, or to love yourself for what you deserve, or the way you deserve. The lessons we learn along the way are the real treasures. So take the risk, stay the prayers, and start the project. Forgive yourself and protect your peace. Remember, your journey is not behind schedule, it's unfolding exactly as it should. Here's to more lessons, more growth, more becoming the version of yourself you've always dreamed of. We're in this together. XOXO. I love you guys. But for real, thank you so much for coming today, and I hope you guys have a rest of your day, and I will see you in the next episode. Mwah! Bye!